everyone, this is Josh with Ardmore Connect.
Hi, and I'm Brian Cronin with Ardmore Connect, and today we have Kathy. Kathy is one of the owners over at John Henry's in Ardmore down on Crooked Avenue. Hello, Kathy.
Hi, guys.
Nice to have you on here.
Thanks.
So, Kathy, can you give us a little bit of what you do over at John Henry's? What is your daily operation for what you do from day in and day out?
Now or before coronavirus? Big difference.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, give us a little bit of both.
Well, before coronavirus, I was more managing the business with my husband. We had a full staff, kitchen staff, full server staff, bar staff. Now, my husband and I and my children are pretty much doing it on our own. So he's in the kitchen cooking, I'm in the bar taking orders. We virtually have no staff. Our kids are volunteering their time. So it's a very different business now.
Now, is that how it was when you guys initially started? Was it primarily you guys, or were you always managing from the get-go?
You mean when the business first started?
Correct.
So when the business first started, my husband bartended 7 nights a week. I was on the floor 7 days a week. We did have staff because we needed staff. So we had full kitchen staff. So no, we definitely, it was more 50-50, but we were there literally every day, all day when the business first started for at least the first year.
And correct me if I'm wrong, when you first started John Henry's, wasn't this a family-owned business before, in your family before?
So John Henry's has been owned by Jim and I for 14 years. The building itself housed my parents' businesses.
Oh.
So the building has been in the family for years, but the business has been ours separately for 14 years. So no one else has ever owned John Henry's Pub but Jim and I.
Gotcha.
So you were saying that you always worked the floor and Jim always did the bartending. Is that how you guys got started? You pretty much said, we've been doing this so long, let's just do it on our own and let's start the business. Is that how John Henry started for you?
I mean, I personally grew up in the business. My parents have owned that bar since 1970, or that building since 1976. So I grew up in the business. Jim and I started dating when we were younger. He came and started working for my parents when he was only 19. So essentially, he pretty much grew up in the business as well. And then when my parents decided to retire, we did not want to continue Annie's because we felt that Annie's was so significantly tied to the person. So we wanted to do something on our own, have our own successes, our own failures. So that's when we closed Annie's down with my mom and my dad, and then we started our own business 14 years ago.
And you've been thriving pretty well, from what I understand. Up until the pandemic, you guys were like remodeling and doing a whole bunch of new.
Our floors look amazing. Our brand new tap system is sparkling. Our brand new tables and chairs and bar stools. There's no customers to appreciate it yet, but yeah, we were doing a lot.
It's something to look forward to, though.
Yeah, honestly, 2020 started off, and we were projecting it to be one of our best years in business since we opened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it started off with a bang.
I think it started that way for a lot of people too, because it looked like 2020 was going to be promising for a lot of different reasons.
2020 was just hitting all the right ways, and then all of a sudden came to a screeching halt.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this. How have you guys been doing with takeout orders? Has it been consistent? Has it been slowing down? I mean, has there been a time where it's been really high and really low? Just curious about the overall.
So we decided to close the business down when we were told to do so, because we were told it was going to be for 2 weeks. So we didn't start doing takeout until we actually got approved for the PPP loan.
Okay.
So much time had gone past where we had cut ties with trying to open. And then when we got the loan, we received the loan on a Wednesday. We were open full blast for takeout by Friday. Very supportive from friends, family, regular customers. They really got us going to start with. And then the next boost came when Governor Wolf signed that law that we could actually sell alcohol to go, mixed drinks. And that has helped tremendously.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people taking advantage of that situation. Matter of fact, it's helped me personally when I need to go get a beer, and you can go down the street and get a nice 32 ouncer of something they have on draft. So I'm sure that's been helping you guys out plenty.
And not just that, but that brief interaction and socialization of like coming in, ordering a drink and leaving has really been a lifeline to people, I think.
Yeah.
They were craving that interaction in a safe way. And we have been doing it in a very safe way, but they really were craving that interaction.
And it's good to see like some of the locals that come back and see how they're doing and see, you know, some familiar faces as well. Regardless, they're hidden a little bit, but you're still seeing the same faces. And maybe have you seen anything new, any new people coming in to try any of your takeout?
Oh, absolutely. I have this story of this cute, like a couple came in, they were in their 70s. They were taking a walk. They saw our signage saying that we were serving personal pictures for $15. And they walked in and they're like, can we get a personal picture of margarita? So I was like, of course. So I served it to them. They're like, we feel like college kids. This is amazing. They were adorable. It was great.
But the pictures are really working out well for you then.
It will never leave John Henry's. They have been such a huge hit. It is part of our business now, and it's not going anywhere.
Oh, so that was a good silver lining for you then.
Oh,
yeah, I was going to say
we are
that
known
helps.
for those 32-ounce personal pictures of drinks for only $15. It is like our thing now, for sure.
Are you guys, so in addition to doing the pictures, are you doing any other kind of promotions for your customers?
So we are doing 32-ounce draft craft beers for $8. And then we're doing frozen spiked seltzers with real fruit for $6.
Okay.
We create a food menu every week depending on what's in inventory, what we can get our hands on through our suppliers. It really is just, evolves every week. So we encourage people to go to our website, johnhenryspubofardmore.com, and it has this week's menu that we're serving for takeout. And then as of Friday, June 5th, also dining on our outdoor tables.
Mm-hmm. And you guys can just order, you can order right through the website, right?
No, so we decided not to do that because we didn't want our kitchen staff to get flooded with orders. You don't have control over it. So we're asking people either to call or walk in and order. And we have a certain amount of orders that we process every 15 minutes. And it has been very structured and very organized. And people literally do not wait for anything. It's like, okay, the 5 o'clock slot is filled. You're now at 5:15. The 5:15 gets filled. You're pushed to 5:30. It has worked out great for us.
So you figured if it was like a free for all and everyone ordering online, it would just be too many tickets coming in for your kitchen, and they would just be like,
makes sense.
And there's also no way to communicate really, because the orders are just coming in through the website. It's not like, oh, well, they're expecting their food to be ready in 20 minutes. You don't realize that, 25 other people just emailed us too, or messaged us on, through our website. So the way we're doing it works for us. We have a very small staff. We don't want people to have to sit around and wait. We want to continue to provide good service as well as good quality food and drinks. So this system is working for us.
now you guys are getting ready to open on the 5th. How many seats will you have available in the back?
We have 8 tables out back, some of which one of them is a love seat, outdoor love seat with a table, one of is outdoor sofa, some high top tables, some low tables. All tables are 6 feet apart. And so everyone will be social distanced when they come to eat.
Are you looking forward to being able to somewhat be normal again and operating a regular restaurant again?
I hate the term, but yeah, I can't wait for our new normal, which is really normal for me. But
this is the yellow light. So last week I actually sat on a Zoom call with the PRLA, and listening to what they have planned, and I heard how the yellow light is supposed to work, and then I heard how the green light is supposed to work. And from what I understand, the green light is going to be only 50% of what you normally.
Correct.
And who knows how long.
Right. And, it's basically taking our profitable bar seats away from us. But we have to do what we have to do. I don't know how a business can work on 50%, but we're going to do our best. We're not going anywhere.
So you're going to be restructuring like the main bar room into like more tables that are 6 feet apart?
It's already done. All of our dining room, our bar room, they're already restructured. All the tables are 6 feet apart. We're actually very fortunate. We have a lot of space inside John Henry's where we can actually separate tables and still do decent amount of numbers. I feel very bad for the smaller restaurants who only have, space for 8 tables. The smaller places, they squish tables in because they don't have the square footage.
Sure.
We're fortunate where we have a lot of square footage. So we'll be, I think we have 8 tables in the dining room and 7 in the bar room right now.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
not so bad,
No, it's not. So all in all, we'll have like 8 in the dining room, 7 in the bar, 7 to 8 outside on the back patio, and 4 tables out front.
And now, are you guys just doing a first come, first serve basis, or are you doing schedule ahead, reservations?
So again, the system for us that's working is we want people first come, first serve.
Sure.
I don't want people making reservations and then showing up late, tying up tables. I just feel like if you're there, and again, we have the room to space people out so they're not on top of each other waiting for their tables.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So we're doing first come, first serve. We're going to do a login when people get there so we can, for contact tracing in case anything happens. When you're placing your order, you're going to have to put your name, your telephone number, the date, and the time that you were at John Henry's. So
there's a seating limit though. Like, isn't it like a minimum? Like if one person shows up, they only can sit for a certain amount of time before they have to move on.
Yeah, but I mean, that's inherent to like the business that we're operating in right now. So it's like,
Sure.
Come in. Basically, what we're going to do is you're going to walk into the bar room, and we have spaces, separated. So people who are ordering are spaced out. You walk up to the bar, you order your food and drinks, you pay for it. We're going to hand you a table number, and you can sit wherever outside that you feel comfortable. And when your food is ready, we'll deliver it to your table. So Jim actually figured out that a typical experience at a restaurant, you interact with the server 10 times. We're actually reducing that down to 2 times. You come in, you place your order, you get your drink, you seat yourself, and then your food gets delivered. So that's definitely going to be helpful for not only our customers to stay safe, but also our staff to stay safe.
I was saying that's a pretty innovative way to look at it. I don't know many people that are thinking about how many times you're interacting with a server or what the best practice is. So my hat's off to you guys for thinking of something like that, whereas everyone else is just going, oh, let's just go back to normal and see what happens.
Yeah, I feel like if John Henry's is going to continue to be profitable in any way, the customers are going to have to trust our system. It's going to be a different system than what they're used to, but I feel like more people will come to John Henry's if they feel safe and they feel like, they're protected and we're doing the best that we can do to them.
Now, here's something that's been on my mind recently with several restaurants closing down in Manayunk and around the area. What do you think separates those from staying open and the ones that do close down? Is there something that you could pinpoint and say, it's probably this?
You mean close down for good?
Yep.
I think they weren't running an efficient business beforehand, and this is just the final straw.
Okay.
Yeah. Or it could be something where, this has been, emotionally and mentally straining as a business owner. And maybe you're just like, you know what? I'm done. It's too hard.
Yeah. Maybe there was, feelings beforehand of saying, oh man, this has been going on for some time. Maybe it is time to get out of the business. And all of a sudden this strikes and you go, okay, you know what? I've done it. I did it. I helped. And now it's time for me to leave. Maybe
Absolutely.
that's also part of it.
The restaurant bar business is a tough business to begin with. And then to get socked by this, some people might just want to be out, or like I said before, they might not have been profitable and maybe just, trying to stay afloat. And this is just the final nail in the coffin.
I think a lot of restaurant owners are probably going to be changing their business perspective and not being a restaurant owner anymore. I think ones that are strong will survive, obviously, but the ones that aren't, they have to change. They have to pivot to some other business because obviously they're entrepreneurs too, so they're not going to be able to go work for corporations. No one's going to hire them.
And not just that, but if you look around, how many new restaurants were opening year after year after year? So that financial pie was getting smaller and smaller for each individual business, and maybe some of those people that were opening up restaurants didn't have the heart for it or the background for it. They were just, everything was booming, so it was easy to open up and to get a customer base.
That makes
That's
sense.
a good perspective. Yeah, that's a good perspective.
Aside from John Henry's, can you tell me some of your favorite Ardmore businesses that you like to
Oh,
on a regular
this
day?
is my favorite question. This is my favorite question.
I don't want to answer that question because I don't want to make anybody mad.
Oh, no.
No, no, no.
Like, do you have
Like,
like a place you go to do your dry cleaning that you specifically like, or, you know?
Like, I can willingly say that I am addicted to the tacos from El Limon.
There you go.
I'm a huge taco person. That's like my number one food group. Chicken cutlets is number 1 and 2.
We don't really eat out that much, you know, because we're in the business, to be quite honest with you. But like the local businesses that were there all the time, obviously like Mapes on Britton House.
Sure.
They're great to have in the neighborhood. They're family owned. Love that.
Well, Mapes is a great place. I mean, that's a great answer. And
it's a great place, and I love that it's family owned. It's neighborhood oriented. It's a fabulous place, fabulous business.
Let me ask you a question. What type of advice would you give to an inspired business owner who's kind of, after this is done and they want to open up a business in Ardmore? What kind of advice do you have?
Know every single aspect that all of your employees do before you open up the door. For example, if you plan on opening up a bar restaurant, make sure you know how to cook, wash dishes, bartend, serve, host, run a business. You have to be able to do everything. So when you get cut down at your knees, you can continue on.
Right.
That's really, really important.
It's very relevant today as well.
I mean, I have to say I've been to John Henry's multiple times, and I've seen many times where you're busy and you're out there running around yourself, like picking things up and making sure things run smooth. So, you know,
that was my job before. I want to go back to that.
Not worrying about paying people.
I want to be that all around person. I want staff there. We don't have staff right now. It's sad, but you know, we're working hard. Jim and I and my kids, we're working hard to get back to being able to support staff. They also have their other issues. Like there's reasons why they can't come back to us right now. Their family members are susceptible and they can't expose themselves to the public. A lot of people don't realize that. Multiple members of my staff cannot come back right now because of health reasons in their own immediate family. They can't.
Right. I think the one thing that's also throwing a lot of people off, especially if they have kids, is finding time to teach them as well. How are you supposed to? I wish I could say this is relevant to me, and it's not. But a lot of the people I interact with, they have kids, and it prevents them from going back to work because they have to teach class as well. So I'm sure that also doesn't help. If you have people on your staff that have kids.
Oh yeah, and if I had kids during all of this, I don't know what I would have done, honestly. My kids are actually beneficial to me because they can help us work the business. But could you imagine if we were trying to open up John Henry's for takeout and I had to go home and teach math? There's no way. Absolutely no way. I could not have done it.
Yeah, you would probably either not be open or you would be teaching in the other room.
Right. The dining room would have been a classroom.
Make a drink.
Can I take your order?
The math problem.
Yes, the number's 9.
No, not 9.
Yeah.
We didn't order a number 9.
Right. That would have been terrible. I would not have been mentally. I would not have been able to handle that if I had to deal with kids. Younger children. I totally get it. Now, do you see a silver lining at the end of all this? I always see a silver lining. I'm still trying to figure out what that is. I think for personal reasons, I really feel like now is the time to recreate your business into what we're going to do until we retire, probably. I don't know if John Henry's is going to go back to what it was before. I think we're going to streamline and make it an easier business to run. And that's really hard to do when you're in it. You're running day to day, you're doing that stuff. But now we've had all this time to reflect and you're like, you know what? If we don't want to be open on Mondays, now's the time to say, we're not going to open on Monday. Or if we're not going to have 100 items on our menu, now's the time to say, you know what? We're going to reduce our inventory, make it easier to manage. And no one's going to complain like they would.
That's true.
I 100% agree with that, actually. Matter of fact, it's tough to look at it when you're in it, like what you said, when you're working in the business daily, you don't ever have the time to step back and go, okay, wait, I don't really like this. Why don't we change it? Because you have all this time. The hard reset was now. I mean, in my business personally, yeah, exactly. And it's across the board. I know plenty of people who have now gone out there and been like exactly what you're saying. I don't want to be open on Mondays anymore. I'm closed. It's like, okay, well, now this person's not taking appointments after 7 o'clock because they want to have dinner with their family.
Exactly.
It's tough to do that while you're rolling, but I 100% agree with you. Now that the hard reset has happened, it's the time to do something like that.
Absolutely, 100%.
And who knows, the silver lining on 2020, maybe it wasn't the profitable year that we all thought it was going to be, but maybe it's a better year at the end that would change how we look at things.
I've heard the term the lost year.
Well, we actually liked the Roaring 20s for better than what's going on,
Sure.
But obviously that's not going to happen.
I guess in a sense we are kind of like a speakeasy, coming in, grabbing a drink to go.
Yeah, people are like,
we have 9 more years of the Roaring 20s.
Yeah, right. But when we first opened up and people were coming in for like the craft drafts and they were like, walking out there, I can take it outside. We're like, yeah, go ahead, go enjoy. Bring it home.
Hey, I didn't know you guys were doing that 32-ounce craft, so I would definitely be coming.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Oh, are you kidding me? A Bell's Two Hearted 32 ounce for $8. Best bargain in town.
Let me ask, do you guys have any Tonewood getting delivered up there?
Any what?
Tonewood. It's a brewery out of South Jersey.
I have not. No. You know what's really funny is that some of the breweries, the beers are hard to get right now.
Yeah.
They're doing what?
They're hard to get.
It's hard to get some of the kegs that we're looking for now that we're reopening for outdoor dining.
Yeah.
So you're kind of just grabbing whatever you can get because the inventory isn't there.
They're kind of, I think a lot of it, they were in the middle of making it all and then obviously being short-staffed and not being able to finish.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of companies also having to dump batches for contamination purposes.
Or expiration. A lot of these
contamination.
We've been closed for how many months now? So that's also an issue.
Now, if you're barrel aging some stuff right now, let me know where that's getting delivered. I'll meet you there.
That's out of my realm of expertise.
Fair enough.
I don't want to take up too much of your time though, but I definitely wanted to, thank you for coming on and talking to us a little bit. Do you have anything that you want to let everyone know that you guys are doing? I know you're going to be open this coming weekend, but do you have anything that you want people to know about that we can help push for you?
Yeah, sure. So basically, we started off only being open Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That quickly evolved to Thursday through Sunday. Now we're open Tuesday through Sunday. We're going to keep the kitchen hours 4 to 8 because that seems to be the correct thing to do. Friday and Saturday, we're going to leave a fryer on and do like appetizers after 8 o'clock and kind of just see how it goes.
Sure.
But the bar hours are starting to extend. So, when I get in there at 2 o'clock, my doors are open. I tell people, if I'm here, come on in. As the kitchen closes at 8 or 9 o'clock, as we're cleaning up, the bar is staying open. So, it's an ongoing thing. It's constant. Yeah, it's evolving every week, every day. So please go to johnhenryspubofardmore.com, see our current hours, see our current menus. It really helps just to get that information out.
That's great. Well, thank you. I look forward to coming back.
Yep.
Can we have everyone back?
And from us at Ardmore Connect, we could thank you for taking the time to watch this. Stay tuned for the next episode, and we'll see you then.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right.